Hi, everybody. Welcome to another edition of Litter Media Live. I'm your host, Mike Smith, along with Aaron Glandon. Dan Ramey is on assignment, but he'll be in later today for an in-studio assignment as well.
Yes.
Let's look at the weather. We were supposed to get some rain in the overnight hours. If it rained at our house, it didn't rain much. The possible severe storms, thank goodness, we didn't have any of that here. So, knock on wood. But there is still a possibility of some rain today through Thursday. We're looking for clearing skies on Friday and Saturday. Rain is possible on Sunday through the middle of next week. And these cooler temperatures are going to stay with us. We're talking about low to mid 60s during the day. At nighttime, maybe around 50. So the old furnace might have to get turned back on.
That's too cold for May.
Yeah, I started out last night with the fan on, the ceiling fan on the bedroom, and then as the evening went along, I turned that off because it was getting cold.
Yeah.
And turned a little. I like the furnace running when I'm in the shower and it's cold. I don't do well with cold coming out of the shower. Never have. So we had to get the furnace cranked up in the house in the overnight hours. A lot to tell you about it as far as our daily topics. All that ahead on Litter Media Live. Accurate Heating, Cooling, and Plumbing, your trusted comfort advisor for more than 4 decades. Whether it's residential or commercial, Accurate Heating, Cooling, and Plumbing can take care of you. They like that on target for your needs. Accurate Heating, Cooling, and Plumbing.
Each week, we'll announce the Neil Coleman Insurance Wyandotte Mutual Litter Media Player of the Week, presented by Homeland Credit Union. And in December, we'll announce the Player of the Year. Nominate any amateur athlete by visiting littermedia.com and click on Player of the Week. You'll also see the players we've named throughout the year. Make your nomination today for the Neil Coleman Insurance Wyandotte Mutual Litter Media Player of the Week, presented by Homeland Credit Union. Discover Ross County. From the breathtaking outdoor adventures to the historic sights of Chillicothe and family-friendly events and festivals. Explore more at visitchillicotheohio.com or download the free mobile app today.
I was looking for a first job. I had been babysitting and decided it was something for a little more permanent. It pays very well. It's convenient. You can make your own schedule with the flexibility. That's something that I like. The people that I work with are great. I wouldn't ask for a better crew or management team to work for.
The Bean Foundation wants to raise awareness about suicide prevention by sharing 988. Trained crisis counselors are available to talk 24/7, 365 days a year. 988. Save the number. Save a life. To learn more about the Bean Foundation, click on this ad on littermedia.com. And we hope that you'll bookmark our website, which is littermedia.com. By the way, we've run into this, and I've had enough of our readers that have commented on this that I think we need to give you just a quick tutorial. Sometimes when you click on a story, it'll come up a thing from GoDaddy that you can't access the story. Like I said, it's happened enough times, we need to make sure there's a workaround. If you're using Google Chrome, try Safari. If that doesn't work, try just another Google browser other than Google Chrome. This seems to happen more on your cell phone or mobile app than it does on like a laptop or so forth. So if you run into that problem, just try a different browser, and we're finding that seems to be working. Maybe our cookies need to be
if you know
cached.
how to clear your cookies and your cache, try that too.
I've been very good at clearing cookies out of the box and the cookie jar over the years, but not with the computer. I understand what some of you are going through, but we want to make sure that you're still reading our stuff at littermedia.com. Brandon Smith, the CEO of Scioto Society, along with this year's Tecumseh director, Julie Richardson, were our guest on the special edition of Litter Media Live today. And Julie talks about the challenge of dealing with the live theater as opposed to working with actors who have maybe had film or video experience.
It's all about timing and them understanding the show. and then me finding out where they have to go from point A to point B to get to back on stage. Because sometimes when they're on horseback and I want them on the other side of the stage, it's like, well, they have to go way down in the path to get there. And I go, well, why aren't they there yet? Well, because they're back in the back trying to get around. So it's like, how can I fix that? You know, so it's an immense stage for one thing, you know, and I think they listen. And now midsummer, when it gets really hot, they're going to have to be more on their toes. But, you know, that's when you say, you got to really listen up. You got to remember, because you got to keep it fresh every night. So staying on task with their responsibilities is important.
This is Julie's second year as director with the Outdoor Drama at Tecumseh. She has an extensive background in the theater, especially the live theater, outdoor drama. She's from Boone, North Carolina originally, and check that interview out if you missed it earlier today. By the way, Tecumseh opens for the season on June the 12th.
Yesterday afternoon, we had another special edition where we talked to Jeremiah Johnson, who's the race director of the Southern Ohio Forest Rally, and he talked a little bit about the racers' attitudes in coming to Chillicothe.
A lot of them like to come to Chillicothe.
They do. We've heard a ton of good feedback, and it's kind of funny because I know that a lot of locals don't see it, but it's the hospitality. And I know that sounds silly, but they're like, yeah, we went to the gas station and everybody was so nice. They treated us so great. And that's not the case in every event. Some towns aren't happy that the rally's there, or different things. And we try to let the local places know that we're coming. It's just really hard because, again, hey, we're going to do a rally. And last time I said that to somebody, like, oh, you a Republican or Democrat? And I was like, no, not that one. I think I've even made that joke before. It's like, no, car rally. Like, oh, yeah, no idea. Deer in a headlight. Yeah. Right? Kind of like us going into the WKKJ for the first time. Like,
right. Now, I can tell you that my son, when he worked in the auto parts industry, one particular year had someone coming looking for a part. He got that for them. Next thing you know, all these racers are coming into the auto parts where he was working because somebody knew somebody that somebody knew somebody, and word got around. Yeah. And that's how this thing works.
Yeah, it is. A lot of it, it's all word of mouth, right? I get phone calls and they'll say like, hey, do you know somebody that could rent me their garage space, right? I want to come in a week early and re-prep my car. And we facilitated that. I'm drawing a blank on the guy's name, but Ken Block's team came a week early, and somebody, he actually ended up not charging him because it was Ken Block. Yeah. He was at their shop, and they were just happy to have rally cars in their shop for a whole week. Mm-hmm.
And you can find both of these interviews on our YouTube sites and on our Spotify if you want to watch or listen on demand.
Late last week, our Dan Ramey visited with the Waverly City School Superintendent Bill Hoover and Waverly Police Chief John Winfield to discuss their DARE program instituted for the school year. Officer Eric Bauline has served as the school's resource officer the last couple of years and became the DARE officer last August. Chief Winfield says that they've learned from the kids, and it's been a bit surprising.
Just watching him in some of his classes was a real eye-opener, especially with what some of the students already know at that young age with, Narcan, some of the posters they did kind of made you tear up a little bit because you don't expect the younger kids to already know about the drugs, what drugs are, what a syringe is, needle, Narcan. It's kind of scary.
Yeah. Now, the Waverly DARE program is currently in the elementary schools.
Yes.
And so one day this is going to progress into the higher levels of education.
Yes, yeah, that's the goal, I think.
That's the goal, yes.
Yeah, we've got a class period at the intermediate and primary called our ROAR period, and we devote that to some social and emotional supports, and DARE is part of that. So we're grateful to have that in there, and hopefully it's something we can keep building. And like the presence with the PD has been really positive with our school. Like Chief said, Officer Bauline has really a good rapport, and we know here at school that that's the key for us, all of us, to trying to reach the students, is to have as good a rapport as we can with them.
Chief Winfield, by the way, was nominated for a statewide DARE award. He's the 2025 Ohio DARE Law Enforcement Executive of the Year, and he'll receive the award in a ceremony next month. Dan also has an interview with Officer Bauline talking about what his experience as a first-year DARE officer will be like, or has been like. You'll find it and the feature with Hoover and Chief Winfield on our Litter Media YouTube channel.
The Adena Health Foundation is continuing its tradition of support for the healthcare workforce of tomorrow, awarding scholarships to 29 graduating seniors who are considering careers in healthcare-related fields. Adena celebrated the recipients recently during a Hope for Our Future scholarship banquet on the Adena Regional Medical Center's campus. The 29 students from 15 schools across the health system's 9-county coverage area were selected from among more than 200 applicants.
It's that time again for the Library of Pike County's summer reading program featuring this year's theme, Color Our World. Starting June the 2nd and running through July 12th, stop into your local Garnet A. Wilson Public Library branch to sign up for a summer reading and receive a free startup book and instructions for completing the reading challenge.
When was the last time you finished a book?
Oh, I don't know. Couple years ago. I do a lot of reading on vacation because I'm reading other things for work during the day and at night. So relaxed reading usually comes during vacation time.
I gotcha. Tabernacle Baptist Church is inviting the community to a free concert June 13th featuring contemporary Christian group Render the Hearts. The concert will be at 6:30 p.m.
Just a reminder from the Pickaway Community Action Commission that their Soap and Hope shower trailer is open to the homeless community in Circleville each Tuesday and Thursday from 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. That's at 469 East Ohio Street in Circleville. We did a special actually we did a special edition interview, but we also did I believe a video feature with that project when that opened up a couple of years ago. And it's really a neat thing that they're doing up there for those who just frankly need a shower, need to wash their clothes. And just a real neat thing that they're doing up there in Pickaway County. Our road report, it's a project that is taking place in Pike County to replace the existing structure on State Route 220 between Route 552 and Fish and Game Road. This project is set to begin June the 2nd. Now, State Route 220 will be closed for the duration of the project. Traffic will be detoured via East Emmett Avenue in Waverly out to State Route 104 to Route 552, and this project will be running through much of the summer. When we come back, a brief look at sports. A lot of the high school tournament action got washed out last night. In fact, one of our Major League Baseball teams also had a rainout. All that coming up on Litter Media Live. Scioto Valley Dumpsters, we've showed that kind of I call it a ghost map in the background. We want you to know that they offer their services to not only Ross County, but all the counties around Ross County. Give them a call at 253-8389 for a free estimate. They're patented orange dumpsters. They're available at Scioto Valley Dumpsters.
As a professional race car driver, I live for speed, power, and performance on and off the track. That's why I use the Dixie Chopper, the world's fastest lawnmower. Race into your local dealership today and test drive a new Dixie Chopper.
This is Andy Tomlinson. When ensuring what's important to you, our agents are there when you need us the most. Tomlinson Insurance, for the best coverage at the best cost. Visit us online at tomlinsonins.com to learn more.
Find a career you love with Pickaway Ross Adult Education. Skilled trades careers are in high demand with no signs of slowing down. Pickaway Ross offers career training programs with expert instructors and hands-on learning tactics to create a variety of opportunities. Visit our website for more information.
All right, let's jump into the sports. We go right to the Litter Media scoreboard at littermedia.com, and we start out with high school tournament baseball. Now, there were a lot more games than what you're seeing there scheduled last night, but probably 80% of them were postponed or suspended. So we'll give you the ones that were played and the ones that got started and didn't finish. Division 5 district quarterfinals in baseball. Wellston beat Nelsonville York 4-1. South Point over Portsmouth West 2-0. Division 6, Waterford over Ripley. Liberty Union edged Byrne Union 3-2. Again, this was baseball. Fairfield Christian over Fisher Catholic 5-0. Now in softball, there was one of them that I didn't get on there in baseball, Division 5. Adena started and was ahead of Belpre 3-0, and that was suspended in the 5th. They won't come back to finish it until tomorrow down at Belpre, not today. Now to softball. Division 4 district semis. Hillsboro beat Vinton County 4-2. Circleville and South Point 4-4 tie. The game was suspended not because of rain, but because of darkness. They completed 8 innings. Remember, it's 7 for high school sports. They got through 8. They'll come back today, but sandwiched between 2 other games that are being played to try to get it finished. And then in Division 5, district semi-softball, Wellston was leading Southeastern 3-0. That was suspended in the 6th inning. They'll pick it back up at Southeastern today.
Hillsboro beat Vinton County 6-2.
What did I say?
You said 4-2.
4-2, okay. I was looking down at I think Circleville had a 4-2 lead on South Point and blew the lead late in the game, and I think I had that one on my mind.
Maybe.
Next.
The Cincinnati Reds, they were shut out by the Pirates 1-0, just a day after putting up 7 runs on them.
Yeah, they let T.J. Friedel let off the game with a triple, and they couldn't bring him home with nobody out. And that was probably the best scoring opportunity they had the entire game. So they'll wrap up that series in Pittsburgh this afternoon. I think it's a 12:35 game time, if I'm not mistaken. Now, the Guardians, for a second night in a row, their game with the Twins was rained out. Now, they will play also later today, but when I was looking at the schedule, I didn't see anywhere where it said it was going to be a doubleheader to make up a game. So I know they are playing this afternoon. We'll see if we can find out whether they're playing 1 or playing 2. And there were a number of the district track meets that are underway in the area. A lot of action last night was first night of 2. We'll get all of the final results at the end of the week when they've completed the whole district meet for each division. So instead of threading it out over 6 different stories, we're just compacting it into one at the end of the week.
Yes.
When we come back, we're going back to 1881 for this date in history, coming up next.
But first, we want to tell you about Litter Quality Propane. There's no bill when there's a fill. Contact Litter Quality Propane today about our metered gas service at litterpropane.com.
Wherever you are there for a reason. You shouldn't have to make a trip to the branch just to deposit a check. Skip the trip and use our mobile app to easily and securely deposit checks from your phone. Day or night, wherever you are, or whatever you're doing, download the Kingston National Bank Mobility app today.
Introducing the Petland Litter Media Pet of the Week. We want to put your pet in the spotlight. Pets with paws to pets with fins. If they gallop, crawl, or slither, play fetch, or simply curl up and snuggle. Send us a photo of your pet and we'll announce a new pet each week. And one pet will be crowned Pet of the Year. To nominate your pet, visit littermedia.com. Click on Pet of the Week. Tell us about your pet and be sure to include a photo. Watch Litter Media Live each Thursday for the announcement of the Petland Litter Media Pet of the Week. No purchase necessary. Contest applications must be from Ohio residents and at least 18 years old.
Life. It can get on top of you quickly, can't it? But with 211, it only takes one step to get connected to the help you need. 211 is always available to help. So get in touch today.
Going on right now while supplies last is Hometown Motors Spring Sales Event. New riding tractors starting at $1699.99. New zero-turn mowers starting at $3399.99. Walk behind starting at $399.99. New chainsaws starting at $279.99. New blowers starting at $199.99. And new trimmers starting at $229.99. Hurry in to get the best selection, because with prices like this, they're not going to last long. Hometown Motors Incorporated, your store for the outdoors.
All righty. We wrap up with a little bit of a history note. Not a long, drawn-out thing. We just want to whet your appetite a little bit, and hopefully you'll look up some of this information and learn about history. We go back to this date in 1881 in Washington, D.C., a lady by the name of Clara Barton.
Hey, I've heard of her.
And a guy named Adolphus Solomons found the American National Red Cross, an organization established to provide humanitarian aid to victims of wars and natural disasters in congruence with the International Red Cross. So international came first. Clara Barton, of course, was a famous nurse during the American Civil War.
Right.
And went all the way to 1881 before they actually started the Red Cross here in the old USA.
You ever donate blood to the Red Cross?
I have on a number of occasions, not nearly as many times as Dan. There was some prescription medication that I was taking years ago that didn't allow you to donate blood. I've got off that medication, and I went back in to donate one time, and they said something, or asked me a question about something else, and I said, well, yeah, I take that, but I had been taking that. And she said, well, now we're finding you can't do it. So I suppose if I called tomorrow, it might be different, but
maybe,
you know, things like that medically change. They find that, okay, you can donate blood if you're taking that kind of medication, but that's what's kept me from donating a number of times. I think the last time I was able to donate, it was in Greenfield. I went clear over to Greenfield to donate, and that might have been back in COVID, 2021 or 22 or something like that. So there you have it. Dan, I think, has got a special edition this afternoon. Is that right?
At noon. Yeah.
So keep watching for that. And thanks for being with us on our daily program. Until that time, for Aaron Glandon, this is Mike Smith saying, have a great day, everyone, from all of us at Litter Media Live.